Hi, my name is John. Come along with Darla, Mark, Becca, and I as we journey to the BVI. Started out really early in the morning out of Wisconsin. Here's us at the Milwaukee airport. And en route on a Boeing 767 to St. Thomas. Arriving here at St. Thomas. Beautiful day, of course. There's Becca and Mark, my sister-in-law and her husband. First hotel was on St. Thomas, was the Galleon Hotel. Sheer luxury. Just ask my wife. This is our breakfast before getting on the ferry for Tortola. And there our ferry is arriving. This is tripping our way through the Tortola rainforest. We hiked up on Sage Mountain, had a great time. And here's us at our second hotel, Fort Burt, Tortola, the night before. And this is Mark and I walking from the Fort Burt Hotel down to the Moorings Marina in Tortola. Just thought he got hit by a tractor. This is our favorite little bakery here that we hit. Nice guy runs this, pretty good place to eat. And this is us at the Moorings Road Town BVI facility. Really nice marina. Has a hotel on the premises. This is our boat. This was registered in Cannes, France. It's called Waimea. It was a good boat. It was a 42.3 moorings finito. Cooper Island was the first night that we moored, and the first place that we moored. Got a little bit of a late start that day. And this is a quick tour of the BVI 42.3. Really well appointed boat. This particular one is about 5 years old. Everything worked great. We had no trouble with it. This one is equipped with the Raytheon electronics, which were nice. Nice big moving map there you see on the pedestal. Dual wheels. Pretty nicely appointed cabin. There is actually the .3 stands for 3 cabins, 2 heads. There's a nice kitchen area there, as you see. Very roomy for the 4 of us. Up on deck, you can see how they tied on the kayak and the stand-up paddleboard and equipment. We didn't have any trouble. It stayed there the whole week. Park and roller furling, of course, at the front. This is just us on a mooring ball. Beautiful first evening. A little bit of a rolling anchorage. We had a little bit of swell and had a couple complaints overnight. And next morning we got up and sailed up to the Baz, Virgin Gorda, BVI.
Quit crying, just get in there.
This is my sister-in-law Becca, last one in the water, as usual.
What, you sure?
But she finally got in. This is one of the beaches at the Baz. Very nice place. Quite a few people. We did a little bit of hiking around. All the hiking here can be done barefoot and in a swimsuit. As you see, there's a few rocks to climb over and through and under. And it's a national park, so it's built up and supported pretty nicely. There's ropes, and you'll see a few wooden steps built so people can more easily walk through the whole Baz area. But the only set of granite boulders like this in the BVI or anywhere around it, so pretty interesting spot to see. One of the islanders there told us that the story is a spaceship loaded full of granite developed engine trouble. And rather than come back here and fix it, they just decided to shed the load, which was a big ton of granite boulders, and there they lay in Virgin Gorda. Right where they dumped them. This is us going down some of the wooden stairs. You can see there's some, kind of have to crouch down in a few of these areas. Pretty tight spot through some of this. Quite a number of people walk through the baths every day. So wherever you go, you're gonna see people. And even though this video doesn't seem like you do, we ran into quite a few people on this one. Darlin, Rebecca.
Sure, why not?
Quite a few photo opportunities here. There's lots of rocks to climb up on and a lot of great pictures to be had. They only allow you 2 hours on the moorings, though they're national park moorings, and it's monitored pretty closely. They've got a boat driving around, so they don't want you mooring there more than 2 hours, because you do have so much traffic that it gives everybody else a chance to get in and out of there. So we didn't waste a lot of time. We went in there and did the hike and ended up having a great time. Got out of there inside of 2 hours, no problem.
Say hi to the kids.
Yeah, Marky. Hang loose, buddy.
Hey, Marky.
This is us swimming back out to our dinghy, again in the baths. And all of us struggling a little bit to climb back in the boat from the water. And Darla's a good sister, and
Nice one.
of course, she's going to attempt to give her sister a hand. I don't know if it helped or not, but this is us anchored off of Eustacia Island, and the spot that we're in actually faces Necker Island, which is Richard Branson's private island, but it's in between Eustacia and Prickly Pear, and this was really a nice anchorage. No moorings here, and of course you can see not hardly any other boats either, which was really nice. We had a couple of 4-foot-long barracuda join us and sit under our boat the whole time we were there. We swam around them, and they were, thank goodness, not aggressive. There's Darla and Becca in the kitchen making some breakfast. And this is us the next morning leaving the Bitter End Yacht Club for Anegada. We had a really nice reach all the way out there, 15 to 17 knots of wind, and the boat just trucked right along at 10 knots. They told us to plan for a 3-hour trip out to Anegada, and we were there in an hour and a half. Passed lots of other sailboats and really had a great sail out there. Again, this is us pulling up on another boat. We passed a few of them on our way out there. Had maybe 3-4 foot seas at the most. It was really a nice ride out there. Mark and Becca. No one got seasick out on this particular leg. It was real nice. We were forced to fly the French flag as it's a French registered boat. There's another boat behind us that we actually just passed. You can see we're trucking along pretty good there, dragging our dinghy behind us. This is us on a mooring at Anegada, grabbing some lunch. It was really shallow here. We had about 16 or 18 inches under the keel, and we were one of the few monoholes out there. We knew it was going to be close when we got there, but we kind of got there about low tide, and it was a little closer than we thought it even might be. But everything worked out nice. We had quite a bit of wind out there. It was a little bit of a rolly place to moor or anchor, but well worth it. This was one of the highlights of the trip for sure. Anegada is a beautiful island. Less traffic out there than some of the other islands in the BVI, but we just had an amazing day and a half up there. You can see there's enough wind out there. We're really putting a load on that mooring there. The wind really didn't let up the whole time we were out there. One of the other fun things that we did on Anegada was rent some scooters. It was really cheap. It was 30 bucks for the day, and we just had a great time. We actually rode around the entire island of Anegada, which isn't big, but a lot of the roads are not paved. You can see here as we're leaving the rental shop that the road's concrete, and of course your left-hand side of the road here on these islands, so not too big of a deal. There's just not that many cars or scooters on any of the roads there. And of course we're following Mark and Rebecca, and we're doing a big loop around the whole island. I think Mark's confused on roundabout procedure, but looks like you got it figured out there. Here we go. Now the scooters were not brand new. They were in, they get pretty beat up out here because, as I said earlier, the roads are not good, and they're mostly dirt, as you'll see here in just a little bit. Not a lot of development on Anegada. You need to bring your own water supply, and they do have a little bit of water there for sale, but not a lot. And this is us cruising kind of toward the west end of Anegada. There's a good surf break out there. It wasn't breaking the day that we were there, but
I guess they ran out of money for the road.
pretty good surf out there. And of course this is us on the dirt roads. Must have been where the county ran out of money. Still quite a bit of rainwater on the roads. The day before we got there had a pretty big rainstorm. We're doing our best to avoid them. They're reeling a couple of guys here messing around on scooters. I'm getting yelled at. And being called stupid as usual. But here we are, arriving at Calrec Beach. This is a nice beach. There's not a lot of development here. Kind of a beach bar / restaurant. Nice spot to go. Not the best snorkeling, but okay. As you can see, the really white sand and beautiful water, though. It was well worth the stop. Few people out on Calrec Beach. Wasn't real crowded. And we're back on the scooter after probably a 45-minute stay and a swim there. And we're kind of heading up toward the other side of the island. There's Mark and Becca. to Big Bamboo, which was one of the places we were told was some of the better snorkeling, and it was. This is Big Bamboo. Has some pretty great visibility, shallow water, and a few fish. Didn't see a lot of stuff here, but it was a great place to go. Some brain coral there. And there's me. There's Darla. We did a lot of snorkeling out on this trip. It was really nice. Chased a few fish around. And we're back on the boat, leaving Anegada. And we're headed to King Garden Bay, Tortola. We had a few bouts of seasickness on this route as we were downwind and kind of rolly. And then we had a squall blow up on us. Winds went from 15 knots to 30. And of course I'd reduced sail right before it got there and didn't really have any handling problems with it, but it sure got us wet and cold for a little bit. It blew through though and riled up the ocean just a little bit. We probably had 4 to 5 swells there for a while. A little bit uncomfortable, but everybody got through it and kept on trucking. Be marked there with his head in the bucket. This is about a 28 nautical mile sail, so we were en route about 4.5 hours, even though we kept up a pretty good pace. It's a long sail, so be prepared for that. I'd leave as early as you can if you're leaving Anegada for King Garden. It's a pretty good amount of time on the water.
Pretty good on a reach here, about 13 knots, where boat's making 10. Not bad.
Beautiful day after the storm blew through. Got a few people crashed out there. And get a view off of the foredeck. Still a really nice wind.
Got that thing flying right. Still reef down a little bit on the main.
Still en route to Cane Garden Bay here. And took some foredeck shots. Beneteau is a really nice sailing boat. It was great out on the ocean. Not really a performance sailboat, but very nicely set up for cruising. Here's us getting a little closer to Cane Garden Bay. And here we are, arrived at Cane Garden Bay on the mooring. Very nice, calm, tranquil bay, nice beach. The prices on everything here were cheaper than anywhere we went to purchase at the grocery store or restaurant. Everything was pretty expensive at the other places we went, especially Bitter End. About 10 minutes after we got there, we had another big squall come right over us and rained pretty hard for 30 or 40 minutes, and then of course passed us by and had a beautiful afternoon. Darla down in the kitchen cooking again. Say hi, honey. Mark. Next morning we got up and sailed over to Jos Van Dyke, or Jos Van Dyke. Beautiful water there. This is White Bay, where Soggy Dollar Bar is, and a pretty popular spot. A lot of charter people come over there, hang out for the day, and it's kind of what we do. A little too rolly to stay there overnight, so after doing some swimming and jumping off the boat, as you see here, so I can't hurt myself. Yeah, there we go. You see it, even at Yost we had just a couple of feet under keel. Beneteau 42 has a 6.5 foot keel, so it's not the best for the islands. Of course, it could be worse. When I ran into a few sea turtles over at Jos Van Dyke, right there off the beach. Chased those guys around. And for some reason I decided to dive on their anchor. The boat came with at 110 feet of chain, and well, we needed it a couple times. Well, there's me jumping back in after another turtle. Probably should quit harassing the poor guys. We ended up heading that evening over to Soper's Hole, which is on the west end of Tortola. It's a small marina, a nicer one, very crowded. Didn't have a lot of mooring balls, but we did find one. There was a few left. Fairly calm in Soper's Hole, but Wouldn't really recommend staying there. A lot of our nights we spent playing cards in the cockpit. Had a lot of fun. Played a number of different card games. I got accused of cheating constantly by my wife, which is normal. She does that when we're here at home too. Well, as you can see here, I certainly must not have cheated. I got up the next morning and sailed over to Pirates Bight, Norman Island. Quite a nice little anchorage there. Quite a few boats, but lots of room there. Lots of moorings, lots of anchorage. Great water, had a lot of great snorkeling. There's my brother-in-law Mark, my sister-in-law Rebecca. Lots of great snorkeling there. This is us playing around on the kayak and stand-up paddleboard. Of course, Mark dumping me off. Isn't that nice?
I got that. I hope I got it.
And then me trying to get back on and keep my shorts on, which is sometimes difficult. Of course, here we from time to time do have to work on the boat. Did a pretty good job of no plumber's crack on that one. Mark and Rebecca out there kayaking. This is a Willie Thornton called Willie T's. It's an old, some sort of big boat that's now a floating bar and restaurant. More of a bar than a restaurant. The whole thing with a Willie T is you go there to jump off the upper deck. Even though the sign says that there's no jumping or diving permitted.
Jumping or diving permitted. Good.
Willie T's always got a lot of loud music going, so if you're gonna moor or anchor by it, you gotta be prepared to stay up late. Here we are walking up onto the back of the upper deck.
Comes crashing down, I'll be there, 'cause I believe.
There's Darla jumping over the railing, which she's not supposed to. I guess I followed her.
It's not for you.
And Mark's filming us.
Thanks, Marky.
I'm just trying to keep myself.
And there we go. It's not very high jump. There's Marky. Trying to get up enough courage to do it.
Go ahead.
He finally does. And there's Darla. And of course, I try to dive bomb her and miss. Everybody on the boat thought I belly flopped on her. There's me again, trying to splash people on the boat. And here's Rebecca with the cannonball style. Boom. Nice. This is what Waimea looks like from the water.
That was our boat for the week. Oh, I almost lost one of your towels. Look.
Beautiful evening. This was our last night in the BVI. Had a great trip.
Norman Island.
8 days and 7 nights had to end at some point. We were blessed with a beautiful sunset on our last night there. Tired on Rebecca, trying to get the last of the sun rays.
That girl in the water?
And there goes the sun.
Oh well. I just want to film it.
We had a great time there. A lot of fun. Definitely go do it again. Moorings did a great job. The boat was great. Can't say enough good about it. We'll see you out there next year.